Hi, good afternoon, or is it good morning? It's Salford, not Manchester. Got that right. Last time I was on stage, I died in my primary school production of Journey Through Badly Dreamt, so I'm hoping for a more successful outcome. I'm Paul, this is Mel, and we're going to talk about design hopes. A little bit about creative cities. So Design Hopes is represented by 5 Scottish universities across the major cities of Glasgow, Edinburgh and Dundee. Each of those cities have their own kind of specialisms, I guess. So Dundee, well known for games design, and that's represented by our colleagues within Design Hopes. Edinburgh for architecture, perhaps more so than anywhere else, and heritage. And Glasgow has a rich kind of art and design scene. Apparently it houses more Turner Prize winners than any other city in the UK. I think that's because all the judges live in Glasgow, but we'll move swiftly on. So right from the start, in Design Hopes, we made the clear connection that human health is inextricably linked to the health of our planet and its natural systems. And also that the climate and ecological emergency is also a health emergency. And the vision of Design Hopes is to take a design-led approach. And by design-led, that's not just research, but making and acting. And really, the hope is to accelerate real-world benefits within the health and social care ecosystem. And we based our strategy on NHS Scotland and the Scottish Government's climate emergency and sustainability strategy. And within that, they had 5 themes, 5 thematic areas. And we didn't think that was enough, so we added 2 onto them. It's a 2-year project, so really ambitious. And we've got a consortium of about 60 people, so spanning the whole kind of range of academic, industrial and third sector organisational levels, from professors down to early career researchers, which you'll hear a little bit about later. And they kind of populate the 7 themes that we'll go through now. So theme 1 is about sustainable buildings and land. And that's quite important, obviously, because NHS Scotland buildings account for almost 500,000 tonnes of CO2 emissions each year. So we have a team of architects looking at architectural design-led interventions, so taking PPE waste and transferring that and transforming that into architectural products for NHS Scotland. Theme 2 is about travel. NHS Scotland is the largest employer, single employer in the country. Almost 200,000 people work for NHS Scotland. So obviously there is a real incentive to address the massive amount of travel that's involved in people journeying to and from work, and also people journeying to and from hospital appointments. We have a team of design researchers at University of Dundee that are leading on theme 3, which is about products and services. And obviously the current levels of production and consumption involving waste and disposal, primarily of single-use products, is a major cause of this kind of sustainable issues that we currently are involved in. Theme 4 is sustainable care, which is led by a team of researchers at the University of Strathclyde. And again, here we are looking at single-use products and also the care of NHS Scotland staff themselves. So there is a focus at the moment on NHS Scotland theatre staff and looking at things like reusable theatre caps, reusable scrubs. And as anyone knows that has maybe been close to a hospital recently, they're poorly designed, they're plastic-based, and we're looking to transform that to more sustainable and fully biodegradable options, which in turn will impact upon new green jobs and within Scotland. So hopefully not just environmental impact, but social and economic impact. Theme 5, we have a range of researchers working across a number of communities across the length and breadth of Scotland. So again, looking to kind of make design interventions that are kind of place-based. And Theme 6 is digital design, again led by our colleagues at Dundee and Abertay, who have particular expertise in games design. So researchers looking at using digital analytics, emerging data technologies, things like serious games and algorithms and NHS data to transform healthcare delivery. So the way that design appointments are triaged and ultimately cared for. Theme 7 is a more kind of experimental theme, so led by our colleagues at Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh. So this involves chemists and engineers, and again looking at new ways, new materials, new technologies for how we might heat people in care homes, and also looking at new materials and new technologies for the production of medical equipment. So really what we're hoping to achieve in a very short space of time is to design sustainable interventions to meet certainly Scotland, but the rest of the UK and the planet's net zero goals, but hopefully go beyond them. And I'll hand over to Mel, who's going to talk a little bit about our design challenges.
Yeah, so good morning, everybody. There's a couple of opportunities that we have. So we're not just looking inward. We're not just a group of academics working with the NHS. We also have opportunities for open for external collaborations. And one really hugely important one of those is our early career researchers who don't really get an open door into the NHS. And certainly they don't get to practice these kinds of skills, the sort of green skills that we so critically need in this country if we are going to meet our net zero goals by 2040, 2045, 2050. So we have set up a next generation design challenge. It has had one round of activity already, and we have another 2 open calls coming, opening in the mid of January, with deadlines into Easter and June. These are really fantastic opportunities for early career researchers, that as graduating students and students that are 1 year out of our institutions, to get involved and propose a project and receive up to £10,000 worth of funding, with the mentorship coming from the project, and that is opening the doors into the NHS. So the NHS are really quite difficult, not difficult, they're brilliant to work with, but it's sometimes difficult to get to the right people in order to design and test and prototype and build new products, new services, new holistic ways of doing something, changing behaviours, and at the same time upskilling the next generation of our design community. So keep an eye out for that opportunity if you have any students who are based across a spectrum of design and are interested in working in health and care. A little bit of an opportunity also that's going to be open. We are doing a lot of testing and prototyping and taking that testing and prototyping out into the community. And one of our key collaborators is the V&A in Dundee. That's the Victoria and Albert Museum based in Dundee. We have our first interim show, which will show prototypes and works across all of the project, opening next week on the 5th of December. We're hanging, I think, from Monday, aren't we? Yep. So we're right in the middle of that final push to get these works out and into the museum for the general public to come and engage with the work that we're doing. And you can see here a little teaser of the corridor space into our exhibition area that shows the relationship between the NHS and some of those statistics that Paul has mentioned already, and the kinds of impact that we're hoping to have. And finally, also for any design graduates or early career researchers who may be interested and already have a little bit of a track record in design and health and care, our own early career researchers in the consortium are launching a symposium around design artifacts in this space called Shift, There's a call open at the moment for contributions to that, and that will happen on the 5th of April 2025. So we have a number of opportunities, also some communities of practice that you can find on our website as well. Not only are we working obviously with external partners and the NHS and industry, but we have some open doors for others who have an interest in this space to come and join us. So thank you very much.